So, Mr. G Rajaraman, many thank you for joining in, and it's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Pratna, for having me on Breaking Barriers. I know you're doing a great job, and I know you will continue to do that.
Thank you so much for your kind words. So, this May, we all will be busy as sports journalists, all eyes on Bengaluru, and the reason being the Neeraj Chopra Classic Meet. So, how excited are you about this very first ever meet to be held in India?
Oh, it's very nice that there is a Neeraj Chopra Classic that's happening in Bangalore on the 24th of May. But we've had lots of international champions come, Olympic champions come and play in India. A lot of people are forgetting that someone like Carl Lewis has come and run in Delhi all those years back. Many of the athletics fans may not have been even have been born when Carl Lewis came. I've seen Sergey Bubka in India. I've seen athletes like Saeed Avita. Fantastic athletes have come when the Athletics Federation used to organize what was called the permit meet. But this is special because it is the first time we are going to have a meet named after an athlete in India at the Neeraj Chopra Classic, and that too sanctioned by the World Athletic. Fantastic for the sport. I think it will lift the profile of the sport completely.
Completely. And I think we never expected something like this to happen so soon. And Neeraj Chopra having his own name in this meet, and so many international stars, so many Olympians will be here in India. And like you mentioned in my very first question, that Carl Lewis was here, and I think a lot of them, the sports lovers, I mean the athlete lover, were not even born. So for them, this is going to be the very first international meet, and for those fans, this is going to be the ultimate javelin even for them for their lifetime in India, for the ones who cannot afford to buy a ticket and go elsewhere to have a glimpse of these stars.
Oh, yeah, it's great. But you see, the Sri Kantirava Stadium has a limited capacity. Uh, it is not as if people are going to throng stadia when Neeraj is competing. I remember him taking part in a Federation Cup last year in Bhubaneswar, and I remember watching a stream where the stadium is not even half full, and they had to bring in schoolboys and girls to fill up the stadium, the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar. And we all know that Bhubaneswar is a very, very, very sport-loving city. That Odisha itself has lifted the profile of sport in its state. It was disappointing to see not enough people in the stadium when Neeraj was competing. But this is an international meet, and this is Bangalore, where the love for sport is enormous, and I'm sure the stadium will be completely brimming with to its capacity. But I also believe that a lot of us will be watching the event on live stream, and I think that is what this meet is going to do: bring in the stars here, build it up nicely, and then raise the profile of athletics. Neeraj, of course, is a household name. He's got 2 Olympic medals with him, 2 World Championship medals with him. There is very little that is left to accomplish. Uh, Maybe he will complete a hat trick of World Championship medals this year, but to contribute in a different way, not just competing, but also in bringing the stars into India and to lift the profile of the sport, and to even get into the mode of organizing a meet. He's learning. He's excited. I think it's great for sport that people want to give back to their sport so soon in their careers. It's not as if they're waiting. He's waiting to retire and then think of doing a meet. He's using his networking at this point of time. He's one of the most loved athletes in the world, and I think he's using that to great capacity. One thing I would have liked in the meet, Prarthana, is to see a lot more events, not just javelin throw, because even if you've got say 15 competitors and each of them get 6 throws each, it's all over in about an hour and a half. You
Correct.
want to see a little bit more action. So I was hoping that there would be some jumps, long jump and triple jump where India is doing really well. Sprints where India started doing well, maybe even a 400-meter race as a support event to that. But I'm sure they will do it the next year onwards.
Like you said, you would have loved, or maybe a lot of other athlete fans, they would have loved to see some other events. And you have mentioned very, beautifully that Neeraj at this point in time is obviously one of the most loved athlete outside cricket, and he's a household name. He's bought in. He has shown us all Indians that we Indians can win an individual gold medal at the World Championships at the highest level, at the biggest extravaganza of sports. So Neeraj using his network at this point in time also came as I won't say a shock, but he's using it quite soon in his career, because do you think he's going to retire in the days to come?
I hope
Very
not.
soon? Yeah.
He's still 26 or 27 years old. I hope he's not contemplating retirement yet. This happens if an athlete gets injured, and I've seen javelin throwers who are way past their 30s, their early 30s, uh, competing till their mid 30s. So I'm sure Neeraj has got a couple of more Olympic games left in him. If he's hungry, if he's wanting to do more, I'm sure you will see him compete. And if he's injury free, I think that's very critical, because he's already had some injuries that have kept him
Yes.
away from sport. Most notably, his elbow injury in the wake of the Asian Games in 2018. He had to sit out for nearly a year and a half before he came back. And I think we were fortunate in some ways. The world was lamenting the pandemic, but it allowed Neeraj time to that much more time to come back and compete. And then he won the Olympic Games gold medal. Had it happened in 2020, who knows whether it would have been possible for him to compete at that level and then win the Olympic gold medal. Uh, Fortune sometimes works both ways, and I think Neeraj was a little lucky there. But we are all proud of what he has done for India. Um, to become a household name with one Olympic Games gold medal at that moment of magic that he produced, I think it is good enough for all of us for a lifetime. I never imagined in my lifetime I would see an Olympic Games athletics medal, and then he gave us gold. And he backed it up with a silver in Paris as well. So, phenomenal athlete. I hope he doesn't contemplate retirement in a hurry.
So you have seen him in very closely. You were with the team in Paris, and you've seen him very closely. What is the kind of aura that Neeraj carries when he's in the stadium competing for the finals?
You don't have to be a press attaché with the team, Prarthana, to understand his aura. I went as a journalist to Bhubaneswar in 2017. He just won the World Junior Championship, and he competed in the Asian Athletics Championship in Bhubaneswar at the Kalinga Stadium. And I saw him come back very strongly. He won the gold with the sixth throw. Phenomenal effort, and we knew we discovered a champion. We knew we found somebody who was hungry to compete with the best in the world, not just satisfy himself with the World Junior Championship, but wanting to do a little bit more. And when you meet him, you know he's very down to earth. You know that he has got time for people. He has conversations with the young ones. The number of selfies that he poses for is evidence enough of his humility and his being down to earth. But a phenomenal athlete who knows his body like very few others do. Um, for someone who's risen from Panipat, went to Panchkula and trained there, and then seen the world. He knows his body like very few other athletes do, and I think he's great for Indian sport and a fantastic ambassador. Someone who doesn't hesitate to call a spade in his own way. He does that. Um, Phenomenal guy, and his aura uh, goes way beyond athletics. I think the respect he's earned of his contemporaries from other sports. I've seen someone like PR Srijesh, wonderful goalkeeper in his time, now coach of the women's hockey team. The love and affection that he's got from each of his teammates, not just his track and field teammate, but from everyone else. And he's got time to sit and have conversations with people who are willing to seek his counsel. So that's the kind of athlete who's once in a lifetime. And I'm so glad that we've got Neeraj on our side.
When you say that, he has years for his juniors also. There are two, three female athletes with whom I keep constantly, connecting with them, and they say, Neeraj Bhaiya is always there for us. And he's just a phone call away. Whenever we give him a call, he may be in some other part of the country, elsewhere in outside India. He always picks up our calls and just motivates us. And that is the kind of persona Neeraj Chopra is. And you rightly said he has years for his juniors. He has given multiple selfies to a lot of people, and he's never a person who denies his fans. And I also I picked up some quotes from Neeraj Chopra during our Zoom meetings and conversations, where he said that हमारे यहाँ पे ब्लॉकेड है, हमारे जो एथलीट्स हैं यहाँ पे ब्लॉकेड है, और उन लोगों को लगता है कि गोरे को हम बीट नहीं कर पाते हैं. It's all here. It's not in our practice or training. We are not lacking anywhere. It's all here, and that is the kind of attitude he has when he enters a stadium and wants to win a gold medal for his country. Also, he made a very good point during the Asian Games when Kishore Jena won. Both of them won gold and silver. He said, "This is the moment I was waiting for, when we have all the Asians in the podium, and we are trying to beat the Goras, and this is what he's very happy about." And he's always there for not only Kishore Jena but also for the other javelin throwers in India.
I think he's not just a great athlete. He's a fantastic human being as well. He's got respect for his competitors, irrespective of skin color. I promise you, he's got respect for all his competitors. He's earned the love and adulation of every one of them. If Mondo Duplantis, the world's best athlete at this point of time, pole vaulter par excellence, has respect for Neeraj Chopra way back from 2016, it tells you of the kind of persona that he's got. Neeraj has got the time of the day for athletes. Even if he's competing outside India, he keeps track of what is happening. Very recently, he congratulated Praveen Chitravel for a very good jump that he did in the national jumps competition. And this is the kind of person he is. He's aware. He's not a horse with blinkers on. He's not just looking at javelin throw or athletics. He's also looking at other sport, and he's well aware of where India is. He also concedes, and rightly so. It's not just humility, but it's his awareness that people like Leander Pace and Abhinav Bindra have been pioneers. They instilled the faith in Indians that they can go out, compete with the best in the world, and win. I think Neeraj has shown that he could do it in a very physical sport, win the gold medal.
Hmm.
But Leander in 1996 and Abhinav Bindra in 2008 showed to Indians that they're no less than anybody else. There was a time when I was growing up as a journalist, when my early year, India would just go and participate. People were very happy to see their names as
Yeah.
participants in the Olympic game. Now we are sending competitors, and I think Neeraj belongs to that generation which believes it can rub shoulders, not only rub shoulders with the best in the world, but leave them behind.
Right. So, coming back to the Neeraj Chopra Classic Meet, Kishore Jena on Thursday confirmed his participation. So, we are going to see a lot of Indians in this meet, and this is going to be a huge platform, no, not only for Kishore but for the other Indian javelin throwers in this meet, because they will be sharing the field with the best in the business.
No, it's great. Kishore finished in the top six in the World Championship in Budapest in 2023. Was among the best in the world. Definitely, he belonged there. Uh, and not only him, but you now got Sachin Yadav, who's throwing the javelin 84, 85 meters,
Yes.
and is one of the leaders in the world. So you want them to understand what the senior javelin throwers do, what the best in the world do, how they train, how they prepare. So this is a great opportunity for Indian javelin throwers. It should not be limited just to the five athletes who are competing, but it should be a whole lot of Indian track and field stars and young ones, especially, who go to Bangalore, watch how the superstars are training and how they prepare themselves for a big moment, and how they deliver performance under pressure. I think there's great learning for everybody.
Hmm.
Kishore will have to stage a strong comeback. He's lost some of his some distance in the last year and a half. He'll have to stage a strong comeback. So for someone like him, this will be great motivation to be back in the field alongside the best in the business, and to be competing with them should be motivation for him to get back to the 80-meter club. He's hovering in the 74, 75
Yeah.
meter category
Hmm.
for a while now. he needs to get back to 80 meters, and he can feel that he belongs with the best in the.
Also, at one point in time, Mr. Rajaraman, you have been in this industry for quite a long time now, and did you ever thought, we Indians will be able to host such a tournament in India now after Neeraj Chopra's, stupendous performance at the world level, and there will be, 4 or 5 javelin throwers competing in a classic meet like this?
I was under no illusions. I knew that India can is capable of hosting such meets. It just was a matter of time. Like I told you, back in the 80s, we had the IAA permit meetings in Delhi, and there was one in Pune as well. So when you have done it before, so there's no big deal trying to put together an event like this. This is a very limited. It has got a very limited scope because it's only javelin thrower. But I remember the permit meet. You would be buzzing with activity, uh, and you would find world champions and Olympic champions and medalists at every step. And I think uh, we needed to go back to that. It got a little bit more expensive now than back in the 80s, where you would get the best of the athletes from around the world to come and compete in Delhi. But this kind of a meet is happening for the first time when we've had what you might call cable and satellite television and the internet streaming era. We have missed on world class athletics for a long time, but this will be great catching up for all of us. But I have had no doubts in my mind because India is very capable of hosting such events. India is very capable of pulling off some amazing. Look at the Commonwealth Games in 2010. I was part of the organizing committee, and I know how beautifully the games went. In terms of conducting an event, we are second to nobody. In terms of hospitality, we are second to nobody. I think India will do a great job of hosting the meet. Also, it's good that the Karnataka government is involved, that JSW, Neeraj's sponsor, is very actively engaged in conducting the meet. And I'm sure we will do a fabulous job of it.
Is this classic meet going to, boost Indian athletics and athletes in the days to come?
So it's very important that we have host international events in India, especially with Olympic and World Champions. We do host Asian Championships, we do host South Asian Athletics Championship, but you don't have those superstars. Some of the Indian stars also don't compete in some of these events because it's more like a stepping stone. So it's very important that India brings some of the international stars home into India so that young track and field fans get to see them. I think it's very important. The one example I cite, Pratna, is of how people like Messi and Ronaldo are superstars in India. They might not have played even half a second in India, but all of India's football lovers will watch Messi and Ronaldo wherever they're playing.
Yes.
Whether they're playing in Saudi Arabia, whether they're playing Europe or in South America, they will wake up whatever time of the day and watch. That's what the power of television is. So you need to, and if you go into any marketplace, whether it's in Guwahati or in Delhi, you're most likely to find a T-shirt with Messi and
Messi.
Ronaldo's name
No,
in the
you'll
back.
always find football fans in the Northeast. Northeast is definitely a football hub, and
Not
you'll
just
always
the North,
find a Messi or a Ronaldo T-shirt.
but do you find a Virat Kohli T-shirt?
Very
You
rare.
don't. Right?
Very rare.
So we have stopped backing our own athletes. Do you find a Neeraj Chopra T-shirt anywhere?
No.
No. The idea, as the Athletics Federation of India tried launching the Neeraj Chopra memorabilia T-shirt, and I know not very many people went and bought it. The idea is in India, you give it to me for free, or I should pick it up for cheap, for a very cheap price in Palika Bazaar. That's the attitude we've got. We need to support our athletes. We need to support our stars, and we need. I'm not saying adulate on them, but back them, whether it's the government, whether it's the corporate, whether it is the sports fan,
Right.
or whether it is the broadcaster. I know it's business for them, but it's very important that you start supporting Indian sport a lot more. And that's why I agreed to come on your Breaking Barriers show, because you are more about India than about international sport. And what Neeraj is doing is bringing international sport home and showcasing the best of the world. I think that is the best part of being Indian. You want to celebrate all athletic performance, all sporting performance, but you reserve a little bit for your own Indian athletes. I think we should not wait for them to become superstars to know them. Invest time and energy in understanding how difficult it is to be an Indian athlete. Uh, Look
Absolutely.
at the coaching standards in the grassroots level. It's not great. And if people are rising from there to win world championships and Olympic medals, you have to give them credit and not just don't just back a Neeraj Chopra when he's competing at the global level. Back him through the year, back his support staff through the year, back his fellow athlete through the year, and that is what my attempt always has been to try and project Indian athletes so that we celebrate them, understand them, and make them feel that they are loved and respected.
Supported and respected. Thank you so much for your kind words. And this has been my constant effort, to really support the grassroots level athletes. Because I keep saying in my shows for Prasar Bharati or my podcast or wherever I go, that it is very important to back up your athlete, give them support when they are not getting any support from the corporates, they're not getting any they're not in the top scheme. Lavlina Borgohain, Sakshi Malik or a Neeraj Chopra doesn't need any kind of support, financial support now, but they need it when they were, climbing, when they were struggling. That is the time when society, the entire ecosystem actually needs to support these kind of athletes because, like you said, it is not easy for an Indian athlete in Indian Olympic sport to make it big at the Olympics or the World Championships or the Asian Games. It's definitely completely tough, and I completely agree with you. Coming back to the classic meet, who are the stars you're really looking forward to? And this includes the Indians also, but you've already mentioned about Kishore Jena. You're looking forward for Kishore to get back to his form. Apart from Kishore, who are the other, throwers where you are kind of looking forward to?
I think it will be Peterson who will be the other star. I have not heard any German names, and you know that the Germans are very, very good competitors in javelin. They're probably not coming here because the Diamond League season is on.
Yes.
To take a break from the Diamond League and then to come into a Neeraj Chopra Classic and then go back to Europe would be challenging for the Germans, I guess. So I have not heard of any German name, but you will see some very good throwers from around the world. Uh, but I guess it will be Anderson Peters who will be from the West Indies, someone who's loved in India, someone who's respected, a former champion himself. You will see good competition, but I think the focus will be so much on Neeraj Chopra. And I wrote in my piece that Neeraj himself, I hope he's not kind of shifting away from his training schedule. In
Mm.
fact, I asked him at the interaction, and he said that it has been a challenge balancing both his training schedule and then the organization of the meet. But now that it's happening in Bangalore, with JSW having its own home ground at the Kantirava Stadium, where the football team plays, where its football team Bangalore FC plays, they will have a good hold of the infrastructure. And I'm sure that Neeraj will be able to pay a lot more attention to his training. But I think that all eyes will be on Neeraj. It's a rare opportunity for him to be competing in an international meet, a World Athletics recognized meet in India. Uh, yes, he has taken part in a couple of national level events in India in the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm.
Post COVID, he's competed in two events in India. I know for sure.
Mm.
Pre COVID, he has been around for a little bit, but you need to get these international events. So therefore, the focus will be a lot on Neeraj and what he does in the competition.
So, has Neeraj also set a benchmark, or I would say an example for the other, stalwarts in Indian sports that if a Neeraj Chopra can do it, even you can do it for your own sport, for your own discipline?
Most of them wait, Prarthana. You look at someone like Mahesh Bhupati. He launched a tennis league some years ago, but that was after he had retired, virtually retired from the sport. To be actively playing and to be conducting an event like this, to be hosting an event like this is a rarity in India. I have not known very many people to do that. For him, he's taken on a challenge. But there are other athletes who brought back, who flowed back into sport post their retirement. But Neeraj stands out as someone who's still only 27 years old, and has been able to try and find a way in which to compete at the highest level and still uh, get involved in the conduct of an event himself. It's going to be a challenge for him, but I think he's taken it on. He's with his eyes wide open. He knows what he's got into. But he's unique in terms of being able to organize an event, in terms of welcoming athletes into India, even while he's competing.
What exactly is Neeraj Chopra trying to convey to the rest of India, to the rest of the world through this particular meet in Bengaluru?
Uh, Only he can answer this question, Pratna. But from whatever we can make out, he wants to tell the world that India is a beautiful nation. India loves sport, and it it has got enormous time for champions who can come and showcase their skills and their talent. Uh, and to India, he's saying, to my mind, he's saying that we can do it. We can conduct events of this stature. We can bring in high quality athletes into India, and to be for young ones to be able to see them from very close quarters. I think that is what is conveying. The message is very simple, that you can do what you wish to do, provided you set your mind to it and find a pathway to achieving your own goals. And I think Neeraj has shown that while he's got dual goals, he's got the World Championship coming up this year. Of course, there is the Asian Championship, and then the World Championship, but his focus is the World Championship. While he's preparing for that, while he's planning his season for that, he's also got involved in the conduct of this meet. I think he's showing that you don't have to be focused only on one skill set. You can develop while you're an athlete, while you're competing. You can look at the broader picture, the larger picture, and then do a very good job of it.
And we all will be looking forward to Neeraj Chopra's 90-meter mark.
I think he's also looking forward to it. He's only
Hmm.
six. He
Much
was his
awaited.
best. His best throw is only 6 centimeters short. But I think we really too much emphasis on the 90-meter mark. Most of us did not even know that there was a barrier like the 90-meter mark. Uh, for Indians who were throwing 72 meters and 73 meters, 80 meters itself was a magical mark.
Hmm.
Right, from 80 it became 85, and now all of India is talking about 90. And give credit to that man Neeraj Chopra for making all of us talk about the 90-meter mark. uh, he's
Talk
become
about
very
this,
smart.
dream about this actually.
He's become very smart, and before any journalist can ask him this question, he has a ready answer for that. So I think he felt the pressure at some point of
Yeah.
time about the 90-meter mark.
Hmm.
But what he says is very logical. If he can throw 88 and win an Olympic Games gold medal, why should he even strain his nerve to get 90 meters?
Hmm.
So he's very competitive. He's a fantastic competitor. He knows what he needs to get to the podium, and he's able to get that. Whether it is with 85 meters or whether it's with 87 meters or 88 meters, doesn't really matter. I think we have got engrossed in the romance of the 90-meter. Uh, we did not even know that it existed. Some years ago, we would 90 meters was like a mirage for us, right? So for one man to make us all talk about the 90-meter mark, it is a bit like Sachin Tendulkar's 100th century in cricket. Everyone kept talking about it. Who would have imagined if he had retired with 99 tests and 99 test and one international century, would he become a lesser player for that? No.
No,
So I think if he doesn't get 90 meters also, Neeraj will remain a legend in Indian sport.
undoubtedly.
He's a pioneer, he's a path breaker, and he's one of a kind. And I think we put too much pressure on him by asking him repeatedly about 90 meters. I stay away from asking him about 90 meters. It will happen when it has to. Maybe it will happen this season.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. He's one man who has given us so many reason to be happy about in athletics. So many reason to be, at times we really think about the 90-meter. Like you said, it's like a mirage for us. We never thought somebody could get into 80-meter mark. And Neeraj made that happen, made us believe that an Indian can definitely do it. And he can compete with the best in the business and still bring medal back home. On that very positive note, Mr. Rajaraman, thank you so much for your time and giving me such in-depth analysis on the Neeraj Chopra Classic.
Thank you very much for having me on Breaking Barriers. Keep doing the good work, Pratna, and keep focusing like you do on Indian sport and its stars. They need all our support, and I'm so glad that you're doing that.
Very thank you. Thank you once again for your kind words. I think these are the words, for me, it's really, really encouraging and motivating. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.